Hey ladies, Dana Wolf, your personal financial coach. I am here today with my good friend Tina, and we are talking about getting our paperwork in order for the future. Believe it or not, time marches on. In 1 minute, we are sitting here at the lake and we are 30, and then the next minute we are 40, and before you know it, we're gonna be 60. And it does march on. And so you need to make sure that your paperwork is in order. And this is an amazing document that we're going over. You can get a copy of this for free. Just drop me your email down below in the comment section or message it to me, okay? So Tina, your family legacy drawer. This is really important, as I was saying, because we remember why we went into the pantry today, but another 10 years, we're gonna walk into the pantry and we're gonna say, why are we here? And we're gonna pick up a can of peas and turn around and go back out because we're not going to remember. And so you really need to write down things as you remember them and while they're important to you. So the first item is your will and your estate. Where is the copy of your will that's notarized? Who is your executor? Do you have a healthcare a proxy? Do you have a power of attorney? Do you have a living will? You know, who's your financial power of attorney? All of that information is really important, that if something happens to you and you live on your own, your family's not here. They need to know what your wishes are and what you want done with your stuff. The next page is called the financial accounts log. And this basically is you're just gonna write down on here the name of the account, who has authorization to use it, where it's located, what the account number is, and if there's auto drafts. Let's say you end up in the hospital for some reason and you have family that comes in to take care of your financial things. They don't know, is money coming in, is money going out?
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And so this information, this is key information that you need to have now. It's not that you have to have it for when you're no longer here, but when you're no longer able to do it yourself.
Right,
okay?
and that can change overnight.
It can change overnight. It certainly can. So the next one is funeral instructions, okay? And we all know that we live and we die, and we have our preferences as to where our funeral is going to be held. Is it going to be in a church? Is it going to be in a funeral home? What is the name of the funeral home? Who's going to speak? Is my favorite niece going to sing, or is my favorite nephew going to give the eulogy? Things like that need to be written down. Who are the pallbearers? What are your favorite songs? Do you want music in your funeral arrangements, right? What about the meal afterwards? If you are like my friend Hal, whose favorite food was breakfast, you may want pancakes and eggs and bacon for your funeral meal. But if you're Italian, you may want spaghetti and meatballs, right? So if you write all of this stuff down now, when the time comes, it's going to be so much easier for your family to deal with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
This is very good, very comprehensive.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And everyone needs to do this. You need to do this, your sisters, your brothers, your mother, everybody needs to have this done. If you've got children, you need to be doing this now, okay? It's fresh in your mind. All right, financial accounts log. So this is where you would write down, oops, wait, we already did that one. Go to the next page.
Okay.
I gotta flip it the other direction. Let's see, where are we?
Policies.
Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Insurance policies. Okay. Health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance. All of those are really important. AFLAC insurance.
Yes.
Tina sells AFLAC. So
Yes.
AFLAC insurance, it's all important. What is the insurance type? What does it cover? Who does it cover? Where is the policy located? Who is the representative that they can call and talk to if they have any questions? You don't want to leave this just a pile of papers that your family has to go through at some point looking for answers.
Right.
Right?
Good point.
How
I just turned it the
about,
wrong way myself.
you just did it too. Oh, I shouldn't have stapled it.
That's okay.
Important documents. So there are also some important documents that you're going to need. The deed to the house, your birth certificate, titles to cars, maybe the RV, the boat, things along those lines. all of that important document should be kept in a safe place, but you also should know what it is that you have,
Right.
okay? And if you have an investment portfolio, that needs to be listed as well. Okay, so this whole important document log, everything gets written down. You can write notes on it. It's very important to have that as well. Any other questions so far?
No, that is a good planning.
Good planning is right.
Yes.
So here's one of my favorite ones, and this is called legacy letters. There are times when you want to say something to someone and you're just not able.
Right.
You may want to tell your daughter how much you love her and how proud you are, but you don't have the time because the kids are always running in and out. You may want to tell your son how proud you are of him, for kicking a habit that you didn't like and for getting on the straight and narrow path.
Yeah.
Okay. You may just want to tell somebody how important they are to them and what you see in them. You may want to record a video, maybe an inspirational message for an unborn child that you know is coming, but that you're not going to be able to meet.
Wow. Yeah.
I know. I know.
All right,
Okay.
deep thoughts. Thanks, Dana. Now I'm going to cry. No.
It's important. Obviously, these letters, videos, inspirational messages, things that you want people to remember you by. Okay, it may be a poem that you write that you want written at read at your funeral. These items are not going to be in this packet. You're going to fill this packet out. You're going to put it in an envelope. You're going to seal it on the front, Mom's legacy box, and then you're going to put it someplace safe. Highly recommend something like the freezer. Seriously, underneath the roast beef that you're never going to cook, right? Because the freezer is pretty much fireproof if something happens at your house.
Sure.
And you can take and make a copy of this and put it on a thumb drive and put the thumb drive in a safe deposit box as well. Make sense?
Makes total sense.
Okay, so the next thing that we are going to talk about is our monthly budget log. Okay, and we talked a little bit earlier in the first part of our Legacy of Love about how important it is to have a budget. You're never going to win with money if you don't have a budget and live by your budget. So with the monthly budget log, you need to write down those things that happen every month and when they come out of your checking account, okay, like the utility bills. You also want to write down if you have plans for something, like maybe you've bought in tickets to go on a cruise with your family for Christmas. All right, so write that down. These are future events or plans that you have that you've paid money towards, so that if something happens and you're not able to go, you're out doing a photo shoot of the horses,
Right.
and you trip over a horse and break a leg. Okay, good for you, not the horse. Okay.
Exactly.
But now all of a sudden you have a broken leg and you can't go on a cruise and you're in the hospital. Somebody's going to have to, cancel the cruise for you. And so
Right.
you need to know this information. So if there's a future event that you've got going on, who the event contact person is, what it costs, what's the latest date that you can cancel. But also, what are your monthly items that you have to pay?
Right.
Okay, so that if someone is taking care of your finances for you because you're not able to, they're going to know, hey, Tina gets an electric bill every month and it's around $30. Or, hey, we should be looking at
Water bill.
water bill. Okay, we should be looking for an electric bill, or we should be looking for, the tax payment that's due.
Right.
Things like that. Okay,
makes sense.
those monthly items that you pay. So you do need to have a monthly budget log. You also want to make sure that you have at least 2 or 3 years of your tax returns. Okay. So you want to be able to, what the year is, where they're located, and any notes, okay? And notes could be something like 2018, if the tax return is 2018, here's where it's located, ended up owing the IRS, need to take more money out next year. 2019, here's where it's located, broke even. 2020, you get the
Exactly.
picture, okay? But just some notes that you want to have in regards to your tax return, so that when your final tax return gets done, they know what your history is. Somebody has a history of that for you.
Makes sense.
So we mentioned safe deposit box earlier, and again, you want to have a log of everything that's in your safe deposit box. I know someone who was settling in a state that was out of state, and they knew that there was a certain item in the safe deposit box, and we prayed that that item arrived in the same condition that we thought it was supposed to be. Okay, so you need to have a list of what's in your safe deposit box in case somebody else has to go and open that for you. You can't get there, or a family member that can't get there. You have a list. Somebody goes and they open it up. These are the things that should be there. You don't want anything missing or taken.
Exactly.
Okay. And here's one of my favorite ones, and it's actually my last one. And again, this goes back to why we as women go into the pantry and turn around and forget what we went in there for. At some point in time, passwords and combinations, they just go right out your head, okay? I know you're not supposed to use the same password for everything, okay? We know that, but trying to remember a password or trying to change a password to something that you haven't used in the last 3 months, when you do have to change your password, can sometimes be difficult. So if you have a password and combination log, and again, this is going to be, these papers are going to be secure. You know, we're not going to tell the whole world that we did this and where to find it, okay?
Yeah.
But if you have time, write a list of the websites and what the passwords are, what your username is, and what you want your social media presence to be after you're not here. Some people leave up their Instagrams and their Facebook accounts, and you may want that. Other people don't want their personal stuff out there that can be hacked in again. Right. So this is called our family legacy drawer, and again, it's all about leaving a legacy of love, not a legacy that's a mess. Does that make sense?
It makes very good sense, because life can be messy, and when we end it, why leave a mess for somebody else when you can leave it in a nice little package?
In a nice little package. So I want to talk real quickly about one more thing, and this is called generational legacy. Okay, so we talked in the very beginning of our time together about retiring and preparing for retiring, and we know that at some point we're going to retire and we're going to have this income that we're living off of, and hopefully we're just going to live off the interest, and there's going to be something left at the end of that, right?
Right.
So generational legacy means that when we pass on, we're passing on that income to our family. Okay. And what we really want to make sure is that we want to know that our family has been taught how to use that income. Not to just go and blow it, you know. I mean, there certainly is, if I was to leave today, if I was to pass on today, and I was to leave my children money, I would certainly want them to be able to use it not only to benefit them, but to benefit the rest of the world.
Right.
Okay, and that's where generational legacy comes into to play. It's not about consumption. It's not about taking the money and going and buying the biggest boat that you can buy. It's about using those funds to expand God's kingdom and taking care of the kingdom that He has given us. So you really want to make sure that when you talk about your legacy and you talk about money that you're leaving when you're not here, that your kids understand what the purpose is for, you know. Right. And some of that is going to be personal. I
expect them to have a little party, but I would like them to use it in ways that benefits way more than just who came from my lineage.
Right. Yeah, you want to make a difference in this world, right? We all want to make a difference in this world. So, you know, it's great to be able to leave money to our kids so that they can, like you say, you know, have that last cruise on mom because mom enjoys cruises, or take that art class that mom always wanted me to take, you know, because she was interested. But you really have to ask yourself, if all that we have comes from God, when we leave here, we're just managing it, right? At this point in time, we're just
Exactly.
managing it. God has given us everything to manage. And if all that we have belongs to God, we want to make sure that our children and the people that we leave behind to take care of it know what our intentions are. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, cool. Very cool. So that's it for us today, ladies. If you have any questions whatsoever about leaving your legacy for your family and how to create a legacy drawer, I am here for you. If you have questions about retiring, I am here for you. We hope that you've enjoyed this time with us. I've enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it very much.
You've enjoyed it?
I've even learned some things.
We've learned some things. You're never too old to learn things, and you're never too late to start either.
Exactly.
So whether you are 30, 40, or 50, closing in on 60, if you're still working, there's still time to start saving for your future. There's still time to invest and get that 10 or 12% return on your investment guaranteed through some great mutual funds so that you can retire with dignity, with love, and not a mess. I hope you all have a great day, and please reach out to us if we can help you.